Shadow of a doubt. It's the social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. I got my man in the building, Donovan Sadiq, Dimitri K, and I am 5-star general. HPD got a problem. You got rid of that one. Had a cop that was at the Trump rally riot. But you got some more in there, and they ain't wearing their cheap. We're going to talk about it tonight. Let's go. Say, man, I want to welcome y'all to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for tuning in. You're the greatest audience in the world, and without you guys, we would not have a show. So we definitely appreciate you with everything. I don't know. I'm gonna catch up on the news today, but I've been on plane all day. I'm actually in Cleveland, Ohio, getting ready for a rally tomorrow with Tamir Rice's mom and see if we can get some justice around this place. And be straight up with y'all. I come all the way from Texas to get me some goddamn justice. And I'm going to get it by any means necessary. Donovan, what's going on?
Welcome. A lot of stuff going on in the news. I want to tell you guys are probably the greatest conversation and friends to have a conversation with in the world. And they're not hyping this up on the main media, but the ex-governor of Michigan, I did a story on it yesterday. He has been indicted on a few crimes in regards to the Flint, Michigan water crisis. And, you know, this goes back to what I've been telling you guys when in regards to Black people. We go from crisis to crisis to crisis. So they hope that we forget what they're doing to us. Big ups to a lot of reporters that stayed on this story. So more to come in the Flint, Michigan crisis. That thing never went away. 12 people got killed. 80 people were poisoned and medical issues, and it's just a mess. So if you guys know what's going on with that. Biden said today that the $2,000 is back in play. That's what he said. He was on the news a few minutes ago giving his economic stance about let's get together and let's kumbaya. So we'll see how that pans out. The District of Columbia Attorney General wants to interview Donald Trump Jr. in regards to inciting riots and possible crimes in regards to 5 people being murdered during the attempted overthrow. Also, the Secret Services director has told his personnel that they should be nonpartisan in regards to Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. So, obviously, for him to put a memo out there like that might seem to say that there are white supremacists within these law enforcement organizations, that he has to put a memo out to remind them that they are to be nonpartisan. Because what if how did a bullet get behind, and this is hypothetical, Biden's head? You know what I mean? It's like Robert Kennedy and the Sirhan thing. If Sirhan was in front of him, how did he get a bullet in the back of his head? Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, so there's a whole lot going on. So welcome you guys to Thursday Night Edition. I don't know what Gary is doing, but let's just say he was off the chain last night, so anything is possible. He's got a little jet lag too, so bear with us all. So anyway, welcome to Thursday Night Edition of the War Zone. And if you could do us a favor and share this live so everyone else can get the information and join in on the conversation. And so tonight we are going to talk about a Houston police officer who got caught up in the melee, the insurrection that happened on January 6th. That is when Trump held his rally right outside of Congress and the Capitol rather. And he, pretty much told his followers to go down there and make sure the Republicans that are on the fence, you make sure you just give them a little reminder of whose side they're on in case they're having a problem deciding about not certifying the election. And so there's a lot has come out. There's a lot of people who were caught up in that. It wasn't just ordinary, regular old neighbors of ours, Trump supporters. It was police officers, military personnel. It was Congress people, even just a whole bunch of people that, you wouldn't really think should be there. And one of those people, and let me get his name right, Tam Ben Pham, okay? And he's a Houston police officer. He's a police officer for 18 years. Chief Acevedo was on the news the other day, and he was talking about how someone sent him an email naming or putting that officer there at the Capitol. And he, I guess, they didn't say exactly what he did, but whatever he did led to his resignation today for his role in it. They said he was on his own time, but the things that he's accused of doing is of a felonious matter, if you will. And so he is no longer employed with the Houston Police Department. They also said that he is facing federal charges for his role in the insurrection. So it should also be said that he is of Asian descent. Seems like he may be Vietnamese. And so you kind of wonder why an Asian, if not that Asians can't be Trump supporters, but this police officer who is Asian, what was he doing there? And I have neighbors right across the street from me. They ride around with bumper stickers on saying Asians for Trump. So we're gonna get into it. But yeah, so Gary, what have you?
Well, I had the opportunity. I popped off the plane, I had to check in the hotel, and I had the opportunity to talk to Chief Acevedo today. Because I want to know why this man wasn't fired. So, if he get a pension, he'd have lost it and all that. But, he say I normally give 48 hours, you have to wait 48 hours to terminate somebody. He's saying he decided to resign, so he's no longer an employee of the Houston Police Department. And then he left it at that, and it was a cordial conversation. And I don't know why it's strange to the people out there that would even think it. Oh, well, he was an Asian officer. Man, you ever been an Asian news plot? You don't think they racist? Some of them ain't right. But I'm not surprised that a lot of cops caught up in this thing, because that's, we already knew that, most of the white supremacists that we're going to run into that keep public is police officers, teachers, healthcare professionals. That's why I'm not dealing with no vaccine. I don't know who's sticking me. So, I'm not surprised that it's an Asian. You feel what I'm saying, Donald?
Yeah, absolutely. This investigation is getting deeper and deeper and deeper as allegations of certain Congress people actually help the white supremacists go through the Capitol and know where certain offices are. These are allegations and things of that nature. Today, they released an audio in regards to that these people had audio and were coordinating within the Capitol to what doors were being knocked down and what room to go to next, who was in that room, bring the zip ties. I mean, the audio is out there. And I mean, this is just, it's a rabbit hole going down to a rabbit hole. But yet only in America can you do a coup, be the president who incited it, the leader of that country and incite it, and you still hold the reins of power. Where the hell does that happen? Anytime that you try to overthrow a government, or the rule of law as the leader of that country, you're usually taken into handcuffs, either shot and killed on the spot for insurrection, or you're deposed, given a court date, and all that other stuff. But in this country, as we see, white supremacy is alive and well, because once again, if that was, let's say, Jefferson Davis in the Civil War, he would have been shackled and, taken away and put in prison like he was at the end of the Civil War. But this guy still has the reins of power. All these people that are associated or alleged to be involved, they're still walking around free. And, but the lower level people like you and myself, oh, they're rounding us up, oh, hilly-nilly. But the top, people aren't getting caught. And as they say in the mafia, the fish rots from the head down. So.
Dion Hayes say everybody for Trump, not white supremacists. How you know? How we supposed to figure that out? I ain't got time to figure it out. They all look the same to me at this point. I'm not trying to figure it out. Anybody that's for somebody that could support what this man did last Wednesday, we labeling you a white supremacist. The same way they don't have a problem labeling Farrakhan a terrorist. They don't have, and all he's ever done is tell black people, get your stuff together, love each other. So I'm not trying to figure it out. I'm not trying to figure it out. It's what it is at this point, man. We can't. Let me see what your comments say. So we just hand the country over to China because the media says Trump supporters, white supremacists. What are you talking about? I'm gonna stop right there, bro. You the smartest man in the room, bro. Ain't nobody said nothing about that.
Right.
You the smartest man in the room, and I really was a little tired, but I'm finna pop me a couple of these Bud Lights. Because what you saying, hand it over to China. Let me tell you something, homeboy, in case you don't know yet. Other countries already run this motherfucking country. You worrying about China? The Russians own this country, man. Keep worrying about China. Keep worrying about. Next question, please.
Yeah. I don't understand what the relevance of China has to do in this conversation. We're talking about insurrectionists, and maybe Dion, and again, we're not always right, but we're not always wrong. But I don't know if you're trying to deflect like a lot of Trump supporters do. We're talking about traitors to this country that if you looked at the video, all I saw was white people. So I could only assume they're white supremacists, period. So the China thing.
Now what the fuck they standing for? Why we gotta try to decipher that bullshit? You see what I'm saying? I ain't got time to decipher. Anybody that was fucking with that shit last Wednesday up in Washington, you a motherfucking white supremacist, and that's what it is. So if you got a little white blood in you, and I'm stepping on your motherfucking toes right now, I don't give a fuck. Maybe it was your motherfucking people up there doing that shit.
Yeah, I mean, yes, were there some Asians up there, as we see, as what we're talking about today? There were some Asians up there. Was there some black people up there? There were some black people up there, but overwhelmingly, I saw rebel flags. I didn't see no China flags. As a matter of fact, I saw Canadian flags up there. So we're talking about white supremacy and traitors to the United States government. Forget everything else. We're talking about insurrection.
It looked like he got to get it tonight. They must have sent you fools. They must have sent you fools, but I'm gonna give it to you tonight. Even the thousands of blacks that went, fuck what you're talking about. You want to have this conversation with me? When I looked at the news, I didn't see no thousands of black people. I saw a bunch of crazy ass white hillbillies climbing fucking walls and falling off of them. So if you really want to have this discussion, don't come first, boy.
Let me jump in there for a second. Let me help Dion out. So I get what Dion is saying. I understand 100% what he's saying. He is, and repeated, everybody for Trump are not white supremacists. And so, yeah, I agree with them. There's a lot of people who did support Trump and vote for Trump who weren't for white supremacy, if you will. A lot of people said they voted for Trump due to their business doing better and, other things that he enacted as far as his policies and things like that. But for the most part, Dion, what we saw there on the 6th was nothing more than white supremacy. Now, yeah, I guess you can't be a white supremacist if you're not white, but you can definitely be a tool of white supremacy. Now, I do believe a lot of people, some people who were at the rally, they thought maybe they were just going to go hear Trump speak, but it is a known fact that Trump gave the signal months before the insurrection actually happened that on the 6th, if the senators or, Congress didn't go his way, rather, that they were supposed to turn up. And we know that because a lot of them showed up with tactical gear on, zip ties, and, ladders even. So we know what they were going to do, but I get what you're saying. Everybody who supported Trump was not for white supremacy, but we will say that the people who showed up on the 6th, they were definitely of white supremacy, if not tools of white supremacy.
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely. But, you know, what I don't understand is we've seen all the videos that are out there, and there's probably more videos. The majority of people that have been rounded up are adjective white. I have rarely seen any videos where they went and collected a black person. I've rarely seen it. So if you got that video and you would like to share it, I would love to see it. But I can almost guarantee you I'm on the internet all the time. I haven't seen it yet. It's just like this is what I'm going to tell you if you're a big Donald Trump supporter. And I'm not a Donald Trump basher. The man's an idiot. That's my opinion. You know, he's a failure in everything he does. That's my opinion. But I'm not a basher of his because I'm worried about my people. But one thing we do know, and you know, he lost the election. If he won the election, he had 63 times to go into court with this overwhelming avalanche of evidence that Giuliani said he had and that crazy white lady, and they didn't produce one iota. He lost the election. That's one thing we do know.
He says exactly they're not going to show you that. Well, they definitely, when George Floyd happened, because all this protest and shit really took wings, they didn't want to show you wasn't black people burning up all the motherfucking buildings, huh? Was you complaining about it then? Oh, I was in Minnesota in a burning building and wasn't no black folk in there burning that bitch up. What y'all got to do is accept the fact, oh, it wasn't Trump supporters, it was Antifa. Y'all got every excuse in the fucking world to support this crazy motherfucker. Got this country looking like some fucking fools all over the world. You got my man in North Korea threatening us every damn day now. And y'all don't get it. Say, man, it's time for the dude to go, bro. I don't give a damn who getting there. Mickey Mouse can do a better job than this cat been doing, bro. But you got every excuse in the world, man. Them hillbilly motherfucker went there last Wednesday with some terrorists. I don't want to know the excuse why they showed up. I don't want to know if the moment made them do what they needed to do. You some fucking terrorists. And every last one of them needs to go to jail. Every last one of them needs to go to jail. And it does not matter to me. Let me see what Tanji Shagola says, because this is a long comment. Hold on, y'all.
Yeah, and by the way, all the FBI and all the major intelligence agencies said there was no Antifa or any kind of infiltration by said groups. Now, this is the agencies that we pay for. Intelligence agency said there was no Antifa.
Tanja says, I'm friends with a whole group of black folks that went to D.C. and they from the hood in Dallas, so they voted for Trump. We don't want China taking up. You worried about China is North Korea. China ain't threatening us. Hey, do your thing, man. I got to put this in my system. You niggas is crazy.
Yeah, you know, I don't know what it's going to take to convince. And you know, when you arbitrarily reject the facts, you are a member of a cult. The intelligence community says there was no Antifa. These are just regular Trump supporters. And think about this. They have it on tape. You're going in there to overthrow the government, to you're going in there to kill Mike Pence, one of the most loyal Trump supporters there is. It just, I don't know what it's going to take for you cultists to understand. You're rejecting facts. And then you're saying that it's Antifa, and you're not coming with receipts to prove that it is Antifa. So the burden of proof is on you.
I think two different points are being argued here, though. I think Dion and I think he said Tanji, I think they're arguing two different points as far as why some people like them. And I'm assuming that's before we saw what happened on the 6th. Now, as far as this Antifa argument, I mean, come on. You know damn well who it was out there, you know, because they tried to say it was Antifa posing as Trump supporters, but there is no evidence of Antifa out there. It's clear that it was. I mean, hell, we didn't know that the police officers were there, you know, until we started, you know, seeing. Well, we know they were there as far as trying to stop them, but they were involved. But a lot of people are saying there's absolutely no evidence of Antifa actually being there. This was all Trump supporters. There's evidence also of Trump telling them to do it. They said they've known since November. That was the call to action, that on January 6th, that was when the go down was going to go down. And so I don't understand, you know, where the argument is now. I mean, this is one of the worst things that was one of the worst things. It's not the worst thing that happened in modern day America. You know, this insurrection, these savages went to the Capitol to you know, some part of me thinks they really thought they were going to be successful. You know, they were going to be successful. You know, we weren't going to get in trouble. We were going to, you know, be on film, just, you know, but come on, Dion. It says, why would Antifa help a group overthrow the government to stop an election they want? Yeah, at some point in time, you got to start using just a little bit of logic. It goes a very long way, but, you know, to keep furthering arguments that have been debunked is silly at this point. And I get it, Dion. You probably like Trump for the policies and things like that, but admit it, he's a madman. And he caused a lot of damage on that day.
The thing is they don't want to admit Trump fucked up. He fucked up. He put a key in people back and didn't have a clue that some of them trailer park trash motherfuckers was gonna go off and go crazy like they did after they ate the chitlins and the hog maws. So, you know, I'm just telling you the real. Every time Trump do something that's really fucked up, y'all want to blame it on Antifa and everything else. Them words came out of Donald Trump's fucking mouth. Gassing these people up, that shit came out of his mouth. And see what we gotta do. And I mean, what's my man named Dion? You look black. Antifa, Black Lives Matter. Donald Trump don't give a fuck about your black ass. None of them do. So why sit here and debate the point? Where I'm at right now, the election is done. Whether I like it or not, I have to live the next 4 years with Joe Biden. And we need to get to that. Steady fucking with this shit here, man, you getting innocent people killed now. That's why I'm really not a dude that support wars when we got to go to other countries. Because some of the shit we fighting wars over, you just getting kids killed for no fucking reason. And what's finna go on that they say gonna go on, man, it's just finna be innocent people dying. Thinking they standing up for the right. It don't matter what the fuck y'all do. Listen to me close. Please spread this part around, Demetri and Donovan. It don't matter what the fuck y'all do. Joe Biden is the fucking president. And that is not going to change at least for 4 fucking years, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, you know,
they will kill all of you motherfuckers on the 20th.
Mm-hmm. You know, the thing is this: everybody gets so picked up in politics. My team wins, your team wins, whatever. Politics is about power, nothing else. Just because only 10 Republicans voted to impeach, the other ones didn't vote because they're worried about their political careers. You notice when it comes down to the voting, all they care about is their political careers. That's why you see politicians coming into your neighborhood every Thanksgiving with a turkey. You know, they show up when they need to show up. And then once they get what they need from you, then they're gone and they don't care about your issues. It's about power and maintaining it. That's why these Republicans got behind Donald Trump the way that they do. Look how they're treating him now. Mitch McConnell. You know, it was all good because Mitch McConnell was like, I want judges approved. I want this approved. I want that approved. We've got a guy that's going to sign off on all of these things. Now Trump is out the damn door. What's Mitch McConnell saying now? Well, on to the next. I lost my leadership. I'm on to the next. It's about power.
Let me say this here. Dion, tonight I'm gonna put you in timeout, big homie. What you said is, so the 29 that died over Georgia riots and cities burning for months doesn't matter. Let me tell you something, homeboy. You had a dude from 3rd Ward, Texas, that just went in a motherfucking store that got a knee put on his motherfucking neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. I don't give a fuck if they burnt all them motherfuckers down. Did you hear what I just said, man? I don't give a fuck if they burnt your motherfucking car up in the process. A motherfucker tired of these folk fucking with us, dude. Now, if you want to sit here and placate it and suck their ass for whatever the reason, Dimitri telling me not to block your ass. Don't get it twisted, homeboy. That's crimson and gold blood that was on the ground at 38 in Chicago. So I don't give a fuck if they burned every fucking city down. They should have burned it down. We've been getting killed for 400 years. Sit your black ass in a corner.
Now, here's my question, Dion. How do you antiquate an insurrection with a George Floyd or any of the protests that were going on in the summertime? You have a right to protest in this country. You do not have a right to overthrow the government illegally. You know, that's a deflection. Trumpsters do that a lot. You're comparing apples and oranges. Apples and oranges, brother. I don't know how you can argue that.
He disrespects the memory of George, Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland, Tamir Rice. You disrespect these people, man. Go sit your black ass in the corner and keep praying Demetra save you.
Yeah, I don't know if why you're trying to make the difference there. I mean, clearly there were two different things. The protests that took place over the summer was because, Black people are continuously being murdered wholesale by police officers. What you saw there on the 6th was a bunch of spoiled ass white people and a couple of, Negroes and apparently some Asians. They couldn't get their way. They have no coping skills. And so they thought they would go hijack democracy, what's left of it, and try to overturn something that the people didn't vote for. Joe Biden won the popular vote, electoral college. So, I mean, that's what the people wanted. It wasn't those people at the, at the rally, but the majority of people wanted that. And so they couldn't handle that. They couldn't see, their leader, Jim Jones, AKA Trump, being in power anymore. And so they thought they would go and steal it. But as I said, I'm not surprised. Those are the same group of people that stole other people and stole people's land and continuously steal stuff. So to steal an election is not a big, surprise, but that's what that was. There's no way are they the protests that took place in the summertime and what we saw in the 6th, no way are they on the same playing field at all.
Man, where you located, man? We don't need to talk about this shit on this show, man. We need to do this in person. What? It wasn't black people burning a building. Motherfucker, I did not just tell you I was in the middle of a fucking building in Minnesota and wasn't no black people in that bitch. So here's my question. You as a black man, you don't have a problem with whoever Antifa or Trump supporters pulling black people into this shit right now? We ain't got nothing to do with this. This ain't our business, bro. I'm not finna defend them. I'm not finna go to war for them. I'm not doing it. At the end of the day, all I want people to understand is that if you take your ass up to Washington this time, you will not have, 1, no political cover. 2, they're going to decimate your ass. I know this for a fact. They are going to kill you this time. So I want all you crazy hillbilly motherfuckers to go back up there on the 20th with the same energy you had on the 6th. They ain't worrying about sending you to jail this time. They are going to drop you 6 feet deep and not even think twice.
Yeah, it's said that there are more troops in Washington, D.C. right now than there is in Afghanistan and Iraq right now. Over 20,000 troops, and that's just the National Guard. So just think about those people that were sitting at home, quarantining themselves, trying to stay out of the mix. Because of all of this bullshit, they got called up out of their homes because they're weekend warriors, and now they've got to go out there and expose themselves to protect the Capitol from insurrectionists. Definition, traitors. Traitors. You did not win this election. It's been said by Trump's own people, the fairest election ever in the United States.
Didn't Trump win a fucking rigged election? With help from the fucking Russians? Oh, but that didn't happen now. But now that his motherfucking ass get the karma, we supposed to tear this motherfucker up. Man, fuck Trump. Tell him, find him somewhere to go. The only one I feel sorry for out the whole clan, because there ain't been no drama about it, is Lil Barron. He the only one I feel bad for. That kid ain't got nothing to do with none of this crazy shit that's going on. But I tell you what, you screaming about your election got stolen. Didn't y'all steal one from Hillary? Oh, how soon we forget?
Yeah, and the thing about the Hillary election, the Electoral College, if you flip it, it's almost exactly the same within maybe 4 Electoral College votes. And it was overwhelming, the biggest electoral landslide in in history. Then he loses, and now it's a problem. Even though 63 times he went to court, he only won 1, and that was on a procedural thing. His own attorney, this is public documents in court records. Giuliani said, this is not about fraud. Most of his attorneys went in there and said, this is not about fraud. Because they know you go in there, their law licenses could be suspended and stuff like that. And speaking of Giuliani, once again, Donald Trump doing what he does, ain't going to pay the man. Don't want to give the man his money. And Giuliani is also under investigation for inciting insurrection. The videotape is out there. These came out of his own words, Don Jr. Because you got to think about it like this. This is the law. It is illegal in the United States to incite insurrection, just like it is a crime to scream fire in a movie theater or a place where a lot of people are gathered. That's a crime. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Donald Trump invited these people to Washington. He spoke at the event with his son and Giuliani, told the people to go up to the Capitol and do what they had to do. I mean, there's all your evidence right there. I mean, that's all it takes. And why is it that the majority of people all agree, even Liz Cheney, who I don't really care for her father, Darth Cheney, I don't care for Darth Cheney, even she said this was an insurrection. And that's what it is, because he ran out of options. It was all done. And that's what happened. I don't know why you just can't see that. It's just a fact.
We don't need to try to figure out, well, why didn't the CIA or the FBI, they should have known. Everybody knew what was going on. Everybody knew on Trump's side, everybody knew what door was going to be open, what door was going to be unlocked. They knew all that shit. These people ain't never been in that building and they find Pelosi's office. So, man, the people going there to hurt that lady, man. They was going in there to kill that woman, man. You walk around with zip tie? Demetra, who the fuck walks around with zip ties?
And the guy that you're talking about, if you looked at his vest, he had a gun. How did he get that far with a gun in the Capitol building in that Capitol zone?
Well, it is said that tours were given the day before by Republican, members of Congress, I guess, lawmakers. They gave tours to some of the rioters the day before. Also, Ayanna Pressley, the Congresswoman of Massachusetts, said that her panic buttons were removed all throughout her office, unbeknownst to her. She said they were there before the riots took place. Her husband and her staffers, they were in her office. And as they were putting on their gas masks and stuff, they went to look for the buttons. And not only the button was removed, but the whole unit was removed. So she said she was fearful because she felt like, maybe they were being set up. And so they removed themselves from some of the other Republican lawmakers because, she's like, let's be honest, there's some white supremacists amongst them. AOC also said she felt like she was going to die that day. She felt like some of the Republican members of Congress were going to, the Senate were going to show the rioters directly where she was. And so, of course, we know this is an inside job, but to keep blaming everybody else except for, what it was, I think is ridiculous at this point. And it does a disservice. I don't know who is sending me messages, but it does a disservice to the people who lost their lives, during that insurrection, a police officer and, some people, the Trump supporters who were, silly, 2 police officers at this point. So, I mean, it does them a disservice. And then I don't know if you guys saw the pictures of all of those servicemen who are camped out on the Congress, the halls of Congress, the floors, everywhere to protect the Congress people there. It's like they're sleeping on hard, cold floors because they, the FBI has said to be on the lookout from the 17th to the 20th because it's supposed to jump off everywhere. These militias, these underbelly militias or whatever you call them, they're supposed to be, re-strategizing so they can come back stronger than ever. And a lot of them have made it clear that they are not afraid to die for what they believe is right. I'm not saying it's right, but for what they believe is right. And so for us to keep saying, well, not us, a few of y'all on there, to keep saying, other people are responsible, I think it's disingenuous and it's unfair to the people. I'm not talking about the Trump supporters who lost their lives, but people were there trying to, keep it at bay, lost their lives. I just think that's a little unfair.
Ain't no way I'm gonna work with somebody that I think has put my goddamn life in danger. That lady that said that they took all her panic buttons out of office. First of all, a panic button ain't just sitting on top of the desk with a big ass sign that say panic button. They strategically placed and only certain people gonna know where they at. See, if I was in the Congress right now, and I felt like you backdoored me, I'd pull McConnell to the side. Let's have a talk, homeboy. With this back, let's have a talk, homeboy. Congressman or not. You can go grab your people and calm this shit down or either send that shit to somebody else's office. I'd have sat right in my office. And you'd have cracked my motherfucking door. I'd have put them slugs in your ass. Because you ain't got no business in here. You people that sit on Capitol Hill acting like pussy. It's time to stand up. Stop playing with them people. Matter of fact, tell them laws move out the way. On the 20th, just tell them go on and stand down. You come up in this motherfucker with that crazy shit, I'm gonna put that heat in your ass. See, y'all like to play with these motherfuckers, man. I'm not playing with y'all, man. On no level. You don't endanger my life and think we're gonna talk about politics and stimuluses. No, we're gonna talk about your motherfucking ribs cracked. That's what we're gonna talk about, Demetri.
Ooh, I don't know if they want to talk about their ribs being cracked, Gary. But yeah, I mean, there's just like levels to this, and again, just taking it back to the police officer that was resigned, I don't even know I had the opportunity to resign. They should have just fired him in Houston. There's just so many, like, you don't know who was at this, rally. It was everybody. It could be, your doctor. It could be some of these people that are creating these vaccines, and you know what I'm saying? Telling you to go take this vaccine. You don't know what's on these people's minds and what their agenda really is. I mean, there's levels to it.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm not gonna let them people play with my body right now. Because I don't know who's who. You can trust who you want, man. But I think that these folk need to go on up there, let it pop off, so the world can see who really the motherfucking criminals in the United States of America is. I don't give a damn how many black people show up. You ain't gonna blame this on black America. It's time for the world to see that the people that they eat crumpets with and they drink tea with is the real thugs. They the real insurrectionists. They the motherfuckers that don't have their sheets on in public. These the people that's teaching our children. These the people you stand in their courtrooms. These the folk with the little red and blue lights chirping, pulling you over for parking tickets. We need the world to see who these people really are. And it's only gonna happen if you scary motherfuckers show up in Washington. You know you ain't coming out there like you say. Because this time, they gonna drop napalm on your motherfucking ass.
And then also, I don't know if y'all saw the Olympic gold medalist, the swimmer. He was arrested and charged with 3 felonies because he ran up in there. Not only did he run up in the Capitol, he ran up in there with his jacket on, his Olympian jacket on. And, you know, his teammates was like, wait a minute, we know that guy. And so you just don't know. You know, most people, when they think of MAGA crowd or, you know, the Trump supporter, they think of the, you know, the person who may be missing some teeth and chewing on some bacca, you know, and all of that, running around with the Confederate flag on their trucks, you know, those type of things. But it's the people your everyday people who were caught up in that. And, you know, as I said earlier in the video I did, I wouldn't be surprised if some real big names start to drop of, you know, people who were behind it, like some, you know, well-known senators. And, you know, we already see some of the senators that are still, you know, backing it up. You know, the Josh Hawleys and, you know, Ted Cruz, he's been kind of silent. He tried to, you know, flip over, but it's like, nah, keep that same energy you had right before it popped off. Don't try to act like you know, you're all for the, you know, greater good now. I wouldn't be surprised if his name and the rest of their names come up as, you know, in the planning committee, if you will.
You know you pro-black, so let's go on and give to them what they gave to our ancestors. Because y'all created this word, and we feel like when it's said and you use it in a derogatory manner, that you're really speaking of that person being an ignorant motherfucker. So why don't all you white niggas go on up there on the 20 and do some nigger shit? And they gonna kill you like a white nigga. What you white niggas waiting on? You motherfucking hillbillies? What you waiting on? Go by the dentist's office and get your grill fixed.
Yeah, and then, you know, not to, Gary, I know you eating, but, you know, they also said some of those Trump supporters, the insurrectionists, went in, you know, and excused themselves all throughout the halls of Congress. And not only did they excuse themselves, they wanted to be, you know, an artist with some of the things they relieved themselves of.
Ain't no black people playing shit. Ain't no black people shit and spread it on the walls. We don't do shit like that. You motherfuckers kill cats. You hang cats. You do all kind of shit. Now you gonna go up into a sacred building like that and shit on the floor and rub it on the walls? That's some white people shit, man. That's some white people shit, man. But you ain't gonna even get close to the walls this time. What you need to do is figure out how to rub it on the inside of a casket. Because they gonna put that heat on your ass when you go down there this time. Go down there with that white nigga shit so they can go to get rid of y'all. And if enough of y'all get gone, Joe might increase that stimulus for us niggas that's left.
Oh my God.
Them motherfuckers kill cats.
Oh my God. Yeah. So you know it wasn't us, okay? And it's like out of all the things you can do, you do that? Like I don't even know how to even like, hey, let's get together and make sure you don't go to the bathroom this morning because we want to save it for the halls of, I mean, like, how does that take? How do you have that discussion?
Oh, Joanna said, well, why is it that building sacred and the people aren't more important? They did right. I love you, boo-boo, but I don't give a damn what you say. You do not go in no building, pull your motherfucking pants down, shit on the fucking floor, and wipe it on the wall. They black people don't do no shit like that. I wear a colostomy bag, and I'm very careful with the way the shit come out the bag. Black people don't play with shit. I'm sorry, blame that, like all the burning and the looting, and when they burnt everything down, I know it wasn't no black person that burnt that Popeyes. You a goddamn lie. You a goddamn lie. Y'all burnt that shit down. It's just certain things we don't do. And playing in shit is one of them things that we do not do. Niggas lose relationships when they have newborn babies because they don't want to change the child diaper. Ain't nobody playing in no shit if they black.
You know what, though? You're absolutely right about that. There's just certain things we not going to do. But when I first heard that report come out, I was like, surely somebody making something up. But that's like, nah, for real.
I guess the black man brought the motherfucking noose too.
Right. And you know the cold part about that is, Gary, is black people have to clean that up. I don't know if you saw the picture of the black janitors and the people who work there. As I guess
would have been the day that I lost my motherfucking job. Mr. Monroe, go in there and clean that shit off them walls. Fuck you, them pictures of Abe Lincoln and everything else in this motherfucker. I don't do shit. Niggas got problem taking the garbage out. So I know we ain't rolling no shit on the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, to me that was one of the most messed up part is when I saw the picture of the black janitors, cleaning up behind the rioters, the terrorists, and it's like I think they should have been given a day off. I don't think they should have had to clean up behind them. But yeah, you're absolutely right. That's not something that we do. That's they kind of stuff right there.
Say, man, I'm gonna tell you who play in shit. People of a different pigmentation, a lighter pigmentation, ain't got no grill in their mouth, walking around this bitch looking like Draculak, ain't got but two teeth up like a motherfucking bowhog. Them the motherfuckers that play in the shit. Them the motherfuckers that play. And guess what? When they finish playing in it, guess what they do? We're gonna go drink us a cold Bud Light. Fuck that. We done played in the shit. Now we're gonna drink us a cold Bud Light. Just laying around stinking. Niggas ain't finna be stinking like no shit in front of people, man. Give a damn when nobody tell me. Ain't no black person did that.
Like, how do you even explain that, Your Honor? My bowels were loose. I mean, I like how do you even explain you do? I think they should get an extra 10 years on top of them even just going into the Capitol. They should get an extra 10 years for even thinking about doing something like that. But
I mean, just imagine I'm the judge and he's sitting there. So why did you rub shit on the wall? And I'm the judge. This is how I'm gonna be. Well, Your Honor, let me stop you. It takes a lot of pre-planning to do that. Now, I know that you didn't have no toilet paper. So that means you took your pants down and you just shit it on the floor, or either shit it in your hand, and then you just took it and rubbed it on the wall. Today, young man, I want to tell you what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to sentence you to 400 years of hard labor so that you can get your mind right and get your bowels right with your nasty ass.
Yeah. So yeah, just to reiterate that wasn't us at all. And so, you know, that on top of everything else, you know, to keep on trying to go with these conspiracy theories, or was Antifa, was this person, was that. Come on, you know who that was. I mean, it takes a special individual to go and that's almost like, we're gonna show them, you know, let's just really do it big. We're gonna make sure they understand we're not happy. It almost sounds like a little toddler, you know, it can't get their way.
I'm gonna lose the marriage, the relationship, everything on that day. We standing out there and my mate, look, Gary, this is what we need to do. Let's go shit on the floor and rub it up. What? What the fuck you said? Say, man, I'm gonna go on and go. Y'all keep this shitty motherfucker here, and you do what you do. Don't come home, because ain't nothing to talk about. Say, man, you got to be a sick, sadistic motherfucker to do some shit like that, man. And then the poor black people got to go in there and clean that shit up. Clean that shit up. That bitch would still be stinking if I was the janitor. I ain't cleaning up shit. You want to fire me? Fire me. They got corona in that shit. I'm not. How you know there's a coronavirus in that shit? But that ain't something black people do. This whole thing since George died is certain things, and y'all never really looked at it like that. It's just certain things that we don't do. We just don't do it. Like serial killing. We was good for a while. Till them two niggas rolled around in that car shooting out the trunk. We had nothing going on with that. We don't run up in no schools. We don't shoot up no motherfucking schools. Come on, we don't do shit like that. When you hear, name me a black school shooting. It ain't something we do. And rubbing shit on the walls ain't one of the things we do. That's some white folk shit with your nasty ass.
And Lee, I agree with you. That does sound like some insane asylum stuff. And it actually sounds like an insane asylum just, you know, bust wide open. Like the doors just exploded off. And all the wards, if you will, just got loose and made it to the Capitol. And that's what it sounds like. I like all the stuff we heard and saw. This really sounds like a horror movie, like a insane asylum, just, you know, Michael Myers type of stuff. They just got loose and had their way.
I still say that the election is over. It's time to move on. And some of us want to move on, even though we didn't get what we wanted. You know, Angela and Howie is who I voted for, so I didn't get that. Okay, but it's time to move on, man. Why are you out here? See, y'all feel like y'all so good that you can fuck up your whole family and your kids and grandkids will be good. See, that's some white folk shit. Black people don't have that luxury. We can't go to jail for 6 months if we don't lose everything in the motherfucking house. You motherfucking can go to jail for 40 years and get out and still got a trust fund. That's why some of you no-teeth motherfuckers they don't want to run up in there again. What's wrong with your motherfucking running? Take your ass. What? You ain't got to wait till the 20th. They gonna have more of them down there then. If you go now, ain't that many. They gonna bust your motherfucking head to the white meat. I'm telling you what's gonna happen to y'all this time. Y'all done laid up and scared some important white people. And now McConnell, I'm gonna just have to stand down on this one. I'm gonna have to stand down on this one. They gonna bust y'all head to the white meat. And Donovan, in case you missed it, ain't no black people went up in there and rubbed no shit on the wall. That ain't some shit we do. If anything, they looking like that one dude say he was looking to find out where the money was. That's what we do.
Right, he was in there for the stimmy.
Yeah, he trying to find out where the money at. Ain't nobody finna be up in there just I want to tear up the podium. I want the gavel. We can't make no money off that, bro. Motherfucker already hustle a ride up here one way. Ain't got no motherfucking ride home. And all you gonna come out the bitch with is the gavel. That ain't what we do. And then you rubbing shit on the wall too. Yo, good gavel having ass, smelling like shit will stay there and you wouldn't ride home with me.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing about that too is the people that they've arrested, it's like the minute they got arrested, they snapped out of it like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. I apologize. What I did was not the right thing to do. Of course, they're losing their jobs. Of course, all over the place. And when it comes to the money, what do I tell you guys on this show all the time? Money makes the world go round. When you mess with people's money, they have some sense. They start talking sense when you mess with their money.
You know what? The apologies don't mean shit to me. If they not heartfelt apologies, if I know that you doing it because you lost your job and maybe you might get it back, your apology don't mean shit. Words are like bullets. Your actions are like bullets. Once you shoot them, you can't take them back. You can't take that shit back. So welcome to 600, nigga. You were balling. You was working at the investment firm. But welcome to our world, white nigga. You getting 600. You gonna survive off that. Get you some dog food like on Good Times.
Yeah, and they're finding a lot of these people that they have arrested. These were like business owners, people that were like averaging $300,000 annually, small business owners. And now their businesses aren't being, they put them on blast and now people aren't patronizing their businesses. So now they're talking about, oh, my business. Why didn't you think about that before you thought about becoming a traitor to your own country? So I really can't have tears for people who just don't care.
They traitors, Donovan. They don't believe they terrorists. They don't believe what they did is what they did. And even from us that didn't support Trump, goddamn dude, y'all done went too far. You done went too motherfucking far. Man, y'all taking y'all gavel stealing shit asses to jail. All y'all need to go.
Yeah, they're in a lot of trouble. Like I said, I really think they thought they were going to go and be successful. They weren't going to get in trouble. They could go and smear feces everywhere and build nooses and break windows and attempt to, tie up Congress people. And, they were talking about killing Mike Pence. And so, I really think they thought they were going to get away with it. We're going to be successful. We're going to make them do what we want. And we're going to just go back to our lives of white supremacy, or the false idea of it anyway. Go back to our lives and run our businesses and, and just do everything we were doing before. It's not a big deal. And that goes to show you also how out of touch white supremacists are. They have no clue. They totally thought what they were doing was right. And then for the argument of, blue lives matter, it's like, really? Blue lives really matter, huh? Y'all beating up the police, killing them and stuff.
They killed the police.
Killed them up.
And
the police.
Yeah.
We got capital murder charges. They wouldn't have. They'd just been picking niggas up everywhere.
Yeah, and they found out one of the people that was beating the police with the flagpole. He was a fireman. So you've got first responders that didn't give a damn about Blue Lives Matter and respecting the police, but they're quick to tell us that's what we need to do. But they use the American flag, which, you know, I served under that for 24 years, like it was something out of a stink hole, and just started beating the dude with it.
I think Joe Biden's first order of business, man, before he get to the 100 days, them first couple of days, Joe, y'all get this up to him, because I know some political people watching this. Joe, it's like getting your first piece of pussy, Joe. You need to go in there the first 2 days and fire everybody they mama. Get all them cockroaches up out of there. Because you don't know who is who. You don't know who to trust. None of that. Get rid of everybody. The motherfucker in the kitchen, well, all I did was make the salads. Well, you can make them at your motherfucking house. You can make them at your house, but you ain't finna work here no more. You need to go in there and clean that place out. Because all these people, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I got a strange feeling, Donovan and Dimitri. Somebody finna get, they going to try to hit them with a bunch of time. And the motherfuckers gonna get the, well, you know, on their side, they ain't the temptation. They gonna get the singing like the Backstreet Boys on their ass. And it's all gonna come out then. Say, man, Biden, fire everybody, get you new Secret Service, everything. You can't trust these people at this point.
Yeah, that is one of the biggest things that they're worried about. I have a buddy that works the Secret Service, and with them finding these white supremacists within these law enforcement agencies, that is a big situation going on in the Secret Service. You know, if this guy's a dedicated Trumpster and he's mad because Trump got bounced, there's a good chance people can get killed.
If they're looking for white supremacists and they need some high-profile ones, Dimitri, can you help me with this one? Tell them go to the U.S. Supreme Court. They'll find 3-4 of them motherfuckers up there. They don't wear their sheet in public. They ain't hard to identify.
And I was gonna say Joe Biden knows who they are. Hell, they half of them
It's his brothers and sisters.
And his homies. He know who they are. It's like
they, them ain't Joe real teeth. He drunk a lot too. His teeth hanging out his motherfucking mouth like a rabbit dog too.
He ain't gonna have to look very hard. He knows exactly who they are, because you know Joe Biden is low key one of them. Don't let Joe's tweets and, you know, him standing up there at the podium reading off of a teleprompter, don't let him fool you that he's now, you know, he's always been this savior and he's against white supremacy. That's a lie.
But and speaking of that, real quick, also in the news, how many of you guys heard today the AG of New York charged Bill de Blasio and the New York City Police Department and the chiefs with brutality or something in regards to how they treated protesters during the summer with excessive force. A lot of this stuff is coming out into the form, and people just don't want to deal with it. But these charges are long overdue.
They've been knowing that this shit been going on. It's been happening forever, man. And see, the thing is, they know that right now. Let me tell you what's going on right now in Washington, D.C. Y'all don't realize it. See, the white folk was the cover for us when the George Floyd thing happened. Ain't nobody being they cover right now. They need some fall guy niggas on the team, man. They need some fall guy niggas on the team, man. Them people know that they got to do the inevitable. They got to drop napalm on their people if they get loose on the 20th. They got to kill white folks on American soil. They know they got to do it. Because if you don't do it, these niggas going to get loose and you ain't going to be able to handle them no more. They already kind of pissed off. Man, that motherfucker hit me all up in the chest with rubber bullets in the summer. He ain't do nothing. That white boy with them horns hanging out of his head. Nothing. Horns just all over the motherfucking place. And let him make it. The bitch dude walk out there with the whole gavel. All I was trying to get was a 7-inch TV. So, you know, they need some cover right now, man. They in this shit by themselves for real. Because they good. And white folk, y'all ought to start throwing away people white cards. Y'all embrace them Latinos. Them motherfuckers ain't riding with y'all right now. Oh, no, I got to go make the tacos. They ain't trying to fuck with y'all right now. Y'all need to send them back to the hood.
You know, and I just want to say, you know, real quick, for if you're a Trumpster out there, I don't see why you guys are getting upset. You guys act like Joe Biden is Obama, and Obama didn't do shit for black people anyway. Joe Biden is going to continue to uphold white supremacy. He was talking today about his economic plan. That economic plan has to do with people who already have money. He said nothing about the poor. The only thing he had to really say about the poor was the $2,000 one-time payment. He's talking about keeping his white people economically in charge while everybody else, especially black people, we are the permanent underclass. So I don't even understand why the Trumpsters are getting upset, because Joe Biden is just going to continue white supremacy as it stands. He told you that. I'm the status quo candidate. So if you like the way things are going, I'm going to continue that. That's what he said. So what is with these Trumpsters, you know, replacing one Trump with another Trump? I mean, they pretty much have the same goal, period.
Well, they're not going to convict him. I mean, they're not going to vote to convict him and all that shit in Congress and all that. You know, they'll get the impeachment, but they're not going to do. That's as far as it's going to go, because his people ain't finna do that to him. So, you know, I think that a lot of people think these people dumb, Joanna. They not dumb. They control the chessboard. They know exactly what they doing. We're the dumb ones because we have the power. You need the problem with Washington. Y'all ain't voted no real niggas to go to Washington yet. You need some gun packing, bat swinging motherfuckers up in Washington, man. You need some motherfuckers that can use that iron for real to go in these state houses and all that. Y'all keep sending these motherfuckers in there. They talk like they're tough. How the fuck you tough and you talking like that? You're not tough. You're not tough. You need to send some real thug motherfuckers to these state houses in the Washington, D.C. I guarantee you them people straighten up.
Yeah, I believe you to be right, Gary. I think yeah, they need some real mofos up in there. But I mean, you know, it is what it is, and it remains to be seen exactly what's going to go on next week. They're saying that people should store their food there. I've always been saying that, right? Store your food and your water, and I guess your toilet paper and paper towels, because it's supposed to jump off. And all this is what the FBI is saying. I don't know how.
Toilet paper. Out of all the shit we can stack up, can we stack up some charcoal, some battery? Why the fuck if we didn't put a motherfucking? We need all this fucking toilet paper. Yeah, there's something going on with that toilet paper. And I'm figuring out
that makes no sense. You guys don't have bidets? Y'all barbarians need to, you know, catch up. If you had a bidet, you wouldn't need any toilet paper.
You don't do like them hillbillies do. They ain't gonna tell you what they do. They ain't got no motherfucking tubs out in the country at them trailer parks. They squat and use the water hose. They just shoot the water in their ass.
No, they don't. They go to the halls of Congress and smear it everywhere.
Final thoughts, Don.
And great conversation. Sorry, I missed a little bit of it. Had a little neighbor problem there. You know, these Hispanics are partying like it's 1999 and, you know, doing what they do. So I got to kind of keep them straight. But yeah, do not expect Donald Trump to be convicted of anything. As far as the civil penalties that he's going to incur from the city of New York, he is going to be incurring a lot of civil penalty. He's not going to do any prison time, because power respects power. If they do that, it will expose the United States as a banana republic that we know we are, but the world doesn't know we are. What's actually going to happen is, just like Joe Biden said, he wants to move forward and not back. The laws apply to you guys and me. It doesn't apply to those in power. Very rarely. And when white supremacy is done with its tools, ask Corrine Brown. it breaks them when they're done.
And so, yeah, I mean, I just say wait and see what's going to happen. It's always wise to be prepared and be on the lookout. And I'm not saying you should be afraid and be scared and all of that. But, you know, intel from the FBI says, you know, that is supposed to jump off the 17th through the 20th, leading up to the inauguration. Now, what exactly is supposed to happen, I don't know. But it sounds like they're going to try to take over the inauguration because that's still on to some degree. So, you know, just be prepared, and you never know what's going to happen. So that's all I have.
If y'all thought I'm crazy, fuck, wait till tomorrow night. Charleston White will be here. Real dude gonna spit some real game at you. I don't know if y'all ready for it. So if you are easily offended, don't show up tomorrow night because my man ain't gonna play with you. But I think that everything that people do should have a theme song. A theme song. And for all you nasty shit, rub it on the wall, motherfuckers. It ain't but one way to send you home, man. Say, man, I want to thank you for tuning in. On behalf of my good friend Donovan Sadiq, the Queen Demetra K, I'm the 5-star general. This for all you shit rubbers. That's for the motherfucker from Carolina, Arkansas, the real shit rubbers. All the shit rubbers, throw your hands in there. Yeah, your roses smell like boo-boo with your nasty ass.